Australia has been really ahead of most other areas with their VPP, and there's just their battery and their solar programs.
Yeah, especially
You
the
know,
$7 billion subsidy now. Everybody installing 50 kilowatt hour battery that I
yep.
did before the subsidy came in. Yeah, it's amazing. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think Australia has, for like residential as an example, I know that all the different people that I've talked to, as well as reports, solar getting installed at like dollar 25 a watt for residential. And here in the US, if you can get it at $2 a watt for residential, you're really lucky. So they've really perfected the model, in my opinion, by layering in low cost of installation, coupling it with battery storage, the right incentives. They're doing it right. And I think that from what I've seen, Australia also has some of the largest renewable microgrids in the world right now that are functional and run primarily on renewables. And so it's really encouraging to see that.
Whole Western Australia, because earlier, about 2, 3 years ago, when I was talking to Horizon Power, they were actually taking out distribution lines. Those DG lines go to several communities saying, okay, let's make it an isolated grid because it's so much cheaper and it makes sense.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Anytime that you can produce and consume within local, it goes back to the saying used to be think local, act local, consume local, same kind of thing. You can do that with power. You can do that with a lot of different commodities and resources.
Yeah, I interviewed a gentleman by the name of Stanley Choi from Sani a couple of months back, and he was telling the same thing. They are converting mining towns,
Yep.
solar, battery, and electric trucks. So there is nothing left. This is the real, true sense. Electrify everything. Anything moves,
Yep.
not electric,
A
no?
couple of years ago, I was talking to some of the folks at Caterpillar, and they make all kinds of big equipment, including dump trucks. And at the time, I think this was 2 or 3 years ago, they had a dump truck that, one of the large mining dump trucks. And this was at a mine that basically mine on the top and then they transport to the bottom. When this dump truck is fully loaded, as it's driving down the hill, it generates 4 megawatt hour. They dump it. It's got its own power to go back up the hill. And so it's generating its own power as it goes. They had a backhoe that they had developed, that large backhoe, obviously. It would generate, I think it was 1 megawatt hour when the shovel was coming down. So figuring out ways to make that kind of equipment more efficient. And from operational perspective, from the mining operator, diesel driven power is very expensive. So if you can create enough power to offset, even if you're talking about 20 or 30% of that diesel, it's bottom line OPEX savings. But a lot of times now with the technologies that we have, they're able to create microgrids that are running entire mining in small towns now at this point in time.
Yeah, your mining truck giving me an idea. So if you have those mining track, or you can do almost like a train or tram. So you
Yep.
take on the top of a hill, get them fully charged on solar, and let them slowly come down the entire night. As they come down, keep on discharging,
Yep.
and then use the daytime energy to go back up. So that could be a gravity storage as well.